Have you ever considered that traveling after the age of 70 might no longer be a wise choice? While exploring new destinations and experiencing diverse cultures can be exciting, many older adults fail to realize the significant risks involved until it's too late. As we age, both our bodies and minds undergo changes, making travel more exhausting, unpredictable, and even hazardous. While some believe they can still travel at the pace of their youth, the reality is that after 70, travel presents unique challenges that could transform a dream vacation into a dangerous and stressful ordeal. In this video, we'll reveal 5 critical reasons why traveling after 70 can be risky, from unexpected health emergencies to hidden financial pitfalls that can drain your savings. Each point will provide insight into the challenges older adults face when traveling. By the end of the video, you'll understand why travel at this stage of life needs careful consideration, and what steps you can take to ensure your safety if you decide to travel. Stay tuned till the end because the final reason is something many older adults overlook, but it's one of the most common ways people lose money, time, and peace of mind while traveling. Let's get started. Higher likelihood of falls and injuries. One of the greatest dangers of traveling after the age of 70 is the increased risk of falls and injuries. As we age, our bodies become less flexible and less resilient compared to our younger years. Factors such as a decline in balance, slower reflexes, and reduced bone density make us more susceptible to accidents. At home, a minor fall may not be a cause for concern, and recovery is often quick. However, when traveling, the stakes are much higher, especially if you're in an unfamiliar location with uneven terrain or in a place you're not used to. A fall could lead to serious injuries like broken bones, internal organ damage, or even the need for hospitalization. Additionally, when traveling far from home, finding adequate medical care can be challenging. This adds another layer of complexity to the situation, as delayed treatment could result in dangerous complications. All trips carry a certain risk of falls, but as we get older, these risks become far more serious. In fact, many elderly travelers have suffered significant injuries during trips, from slipping on stairs to falling on uneven sidewalks. These injuries not only cause physical pain but can also disrupt the entire trip, impacting the quality of life, and may require extended recovery time. Therefore, it is crucial to carefully consider your health and the environment when deciding to travel after 70. The increased risk of falls and injuries is not only a physical issue but also a mental and emotional one. The loss of confidence following a fall can lead to a reluctance to engage in activities and may even instill fear of going out altogether. To minimize these risks, it is essential to choose destinations that are safe, with good infrastructure, and always have preventative measures in place, such as slip-resistant footwear, mobility aids, and readily available medical contacts. Thus, before embarking on a trip, it is important to take into account the risk of falls and injuries. Travel plans should be made with thorough preparation, support from family and friends, and an optimistic yet cautious mindset to ensure safety in any unforeseen situation. Increased health risks and medical emergencies. As we age, our bodies undergo significant changes that make us more vulnerable to a variety of health issues. For individuals over the age of 70, traveling presents a unique set of challenges and risks, particularly in the realm of health. One of the most significant concerns for elderly travelers is the increased likelihood of sudden, unexpected health problems. The aging process can make the body more unpredictable, and conditions such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and respiratory issues become more common. These conditions, which might be well managed at home with regular doctor visits and a familiar healthcare routine, can quickly escalate into medical emergencies while traveling. When we are at home, access to healthcare is usually straightforward. We know where the nearest hospital is, we have a list of trusted doctors, and we can easily contact healthcare providers if something goes wrong. However, the dynamics change dramatically when we leave our comfort zone and travel, especially to destinations that are unfamiliar or even abroad. In these situations, receiving appropriate medical care becomes a far more complicated task. Whether you're visiting a remote location with limited healthcare facilities or traveling to a foreign country where language barriers or differences in medical practices exist, seeking medical help can be a daunting challenge. This becomes even more pressing when dealing with chronic conditions that require consistent management, such as diabetes, hypertension, or asthma. For example, something as simple as a change in diet, altitude, or climate can trigger severe complications for individuals with pre-existing health conditions. Long-haul flights, for instance, can increase the risk of blood clots, deep vein thrombosis, which can be particularly dangerous for older adults. High altitudes may place extra strain on the heart and lungs, especially for those with existing cardiovascular or pulmonary issues. Even seemingly harmless occurrences like dehydration, sun exposure, or heat exhaustion can quickly become life-threatening in an unfamiliar environment. In fact, older adults are generally more susceptible to infections due to a weakened immune system, which means exposure to new bacteria or viruses in different regions can result in illnesses that would normally be less of a concern at home. Furthermore, the stress of traveling itself can contribute to deteriorating health. The demands of long-distance travel, including jet lag, changes in routine, and the physical strain of navigating airports or unfamiliar terrain, can take a toll on the elderly body. Even if a person has been in generally good health, these physical and mental stresses can act as triggers for a health crisis, which might have otherwise been prevented with the comfort of home and familiar surroundings. Additionally, there is often a significant delay in receiving the proper care when abroad. Whether it's waiting for an appointment with a local doctor, figuring out where the nearest hospital is, or dealing with insurance issues, the immediate access to care that many elderly travelers take for granted at home is not always available in a foreign country or unfamiliar place. This lack of immediate and familiar medical attention can lead to worsened conditions, unnecessary complications, and in some cases, irreversible damage. It's important to note that many travel destinations may not be equipped to handle medical emergencies for elderly travelers. While some countries have advanced healthcare systems, others may lack the infrastructure to provide the necessary care for elderly patients. This disparity in medical care accessibility can turn a seemingly simple trip into a life-threatening ordeal if an emergency arises. Fatigue during travel and difficulty in recovery. While traveling may seem exciting and appealing, for individuals over the age of 70, the physical toll can be far greater than anticipated. Long flights, erratic schedules, and hours of walking can leave elderly travelers feeling utterly exhausted, and the recovery process becomes more challenging. Unlike in younger years, when a good night's sleep could quickly restore energy, older adults often find that the fatigue lingers for days or even weeks after a trip. The strain of travel on the body is far more pronounced as we age. Long-distance flights, especially those crossing multiple time zones, can disrupt the body's natural circadian rhythms, leading to jet lag, which can take much longer to recover from as one grows older. The lack of sleep, combined with unfamiliar time zones, different climates, and irregular meal times, can push the body into a state of stress. This can weaken the immune system, making older adults more susceptible to illness during and after their travels. Moreover, long hours of sitting in cramped airplane seats or long walks through airports can cause stiffness and muscle soreness, which can take longer to resolve for older individuals. The body's ability to recover from physical strain diminishes with age, and this means that the recovery period can extend well beyond the end of the trip. Additionally, the physical exhaustion associated with travel can have a cascading effect on mental well-being. The constant fatigue can lead to irritability, mood swings, and a lack of enthusiasm for activities that might once have been enjoyable. For elderly travelers, this can also contribute to a sense of isolation or loneliness, particularly if they are traveling alone or have difficulty keeping up with the group's pace. Older adults are also more prone to dehydration and other health issues that may not be as apparent while traveling but can have lasting effects. Even something as simple as a lack of proper hydration or sitting too long without stretching can cause lasting discomfort, making recovery even more difficult. In conclusion, the physical and mental exhaustion that comes with traveling after the age of 70 should not be underestimated. The body's diminished ability to recover from strain means that even a seemingly simple trip can leave an elderly traveler feeling drained for days or weeks. Therefore, elderly individuals should carefully assess their physical capacity for travel and take the necessary precautions to ensure they are able to rest, hydrate, and recover as needed. It's also essential to pace themselves and allow for extra time for rest and recovery during their trip. Risk from travel insurance and financial concerns. One of the most unexpected dangers when traveling after 70 is the financial risks that often go unnoticed. Many seniors assume that if an issue arises during their trip, they can simply rely on insurance or their personal savings. However, the reality is that medical emergencies, trip cancellations, or even fraudulent schemes can quickly deplete their accounts faster than they anticipate. When you are over 70, finding the right travel insurance becomes a challenge. While many people believe their current insurance will cover them during a trip, some policies impose restrictions based on age, pre-existing health conditions, or even the destination. For example, certain insurers may refuse coverage for elderly travelers with specific health conditions, such as heart disease or diabetes. Even if they do provide coverage, the premiums can be much higher, and the terms may limit the services available, leaving the traveler exposed in the event of an emergency. Medical emergencies while traveling can be financially devastating, especially when abroad. Treatment costs can vary widely depending on the country, and without sufficient insurance, these expenses can quickly escalate. For example, hospitalization, surgeries, or emergency evacuations may cost tens of thousands of dollars, leaving travelers with massive bills that can drain their savings. Additionally, many seniors may not be aware that Medicare or their health insurance doesn't provide coverage outside their home country, further complicating their financial protection while abroad. Another financial risk that older travelers face is trip cancellations. Life can be unpredictable, and unexpected health issues or family emergencies may prevent seniors from embarking on their planned trips. While travel insurance often covers cancellations, some policies may not fully refund the costs or impose high deductibles, meaning elderly travelers could still lose money. Similarly, many travelers may fall victim to fraudulent schemes, such as scams or fake travel deals targeting seniors. These scams can drain their finances, leaving them with little recourse to recover their losses. The financial burden doesn't end with direct costs either. Elderly travelers may face additional challenges like currency exchange rates, loss of money due to theft or pickpockets, and rising accommodation costs that can make their trip more expensive than planned. These unexpected financial challenges can quickly turn an enjoyable trip into a financial nightmare. In conclusion, the risk of financial strain when traveling after 70 should not be underestimated. Travel insurance, while necessary, can often be inadequate for elderly travelers, and the costs of medical emergencies, cancellations, or scams can deplete savings quickly. Therefore, older adults should carefully review their insurance options, ensure they have enough coverage, and take steps to protect themselves financially before embarking on any travel adventure. While traveling can be an exciting and enriching experience, it's important to recognize the unique challenges that come with traveling after 70. From the increased risk of falls and injuries to the complexities of managing health and finances, these factors can make travel much more difficult and potentially dangerous for older adults. It's crucial to plan ahead, consider the risks, and take extra precautions to ensure a safe and enjoyable trip. Whether it's choosing the right insurance, preparing for medical emergencies, or simply knowing your limits, being proactive about your travel health and safety can help reduce stress and make your travel experience much more rewarding. Remember, you can still explore the world and create unforgettable memories, but it's important to do so with careful consideration of your health and well-being. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video helped you make informed decisions about traveling after 70. Stay safe, and happy travels!